Wagwan people, like and subscribe to Anfield Uncle Rodz channel. Show some love, you never walk alone.
What I did that day, I went through the good evening, by the way. What I did is I went through the intro and all that, but what I actually did, I forgot to go live. So I've done all the intro and everything, I forgot to go live. So I had to do it all over again. But anyway, we're here. Yes, so listen. Anfield Uncle Rodz is back again. And you know what to do when you get around there. You know what to do. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and switch on the notification. Right. We're going to be taking a look at the full content of Arne Slot's press conference today. We're looking through that. A bit of transfer talk, and also we're going to do the predicted lineup and the predicted scores, okay? So, but do remember, please slap that like button and subscribe button. I'm literally 3 subscribers away from 4,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? So on a road to 4,000, I'm 3 subscribers away. 3 subscribers away. Okay. Got a poll so far. I got a poll so far with the poll so far is have FSG failed us fans? And so far it's 100%. Yeah, it's 100% so far. We've got like 1 vote so far, and it's 100% say yes, they have failed us. So get your votes in, guys, as the show goes along. Okay, let's have a look at the press conference. Let's have a look at this press conference. Let me just share the screen. Let me just share the screen now. Come on, hurry up. Damn. Let's see something. Where's this one here? Right. Let's have a look. Let's get full screen on this one. Let's get full screen. Okay. All right. So let's do it. Arne stop press conference.
We know he's undergoing an individual session yesterday, and I'm just looking at the importance of him because 3 of his last 4 Premier League goals taken a total of 5 points. You've got the winner against Palace, the equaliser against Fulham, the equaliser against Forest the other night as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about the fact that Jota is an important player for us. But he wasn't, like you said, on the training ground yesterday, so that means we have to see today where he is. So it's not sure that he will be available for tomorrow. We have to wait and see today.
What's the issue there?
Yeah, he felt a little bit when he came in, a little niggle, is that the way you say it? Yeah. During the half hour he came in and he could finish the game, but afterwards he complained a bit about it, and that's why he didn't train yesterday. And we have to wait and see if he's available today, and then of course tomorrow.
Obviously, we're looking at the title race and see the gap is 4 points at the moment. We look at the game against Brentford as an opportunity.
Sorry to butt in, guys. This is what I don't like about the obviously the situation with Jota. He's too injury prone. He is too injury prone. If you know what, Liverpool will do what we want to do in regards to sort of transfers and them types of stuff, right? But me personally, if I was with Liverpool, I would literally be looking to move him along this summer. I'm literally looking to move him along this summer. He's too injury prone. I mean, look, he came on the other day. You know, what I mean, he's had quite a bit of a layoff because he had gotten injured before, so he had a bit of a layoff, and he's come on, played bit parts in games and stuff, right? So he came on as a substitute the other day. Obviously against bloody hell, I literally forgot who he was playing there. Nottingham Forest, sorry. So he came on, against Nottingham Forest, scored a goal that brought it level, and it stayed that way. But like now he's what he's saying. When he come off in the game, he felt a little niggle. Do you know what I mean? Now he didn't train yesterday, so they're trying to see if he's going to train today. I mean, which at this present moment, we don't have no news on that. We haven't got no news on the fact that whether he's trained today or not. So we haven't got no news on that. Okay. So, do you know what I mean? The fact is he's injured again. That's a fact. I'm saying he's injured again. It's a potential injury again. Now, if he is injured, we don't even know how long he's going to be out for. You know what I mean? So I think we should move him along. But then what Liverpool do when they move players along, they don't necessarily means they're going to get another player in. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. But I just think his time's up now. His time's up. We've been patient with him as much as we can. Let's get back to it.
Need to put pressure on Arsenal now because they play after you. So how do you see it? Does it come into the thinking now that you can ask the question of Arsenal and then they have to respond?
No.
This is how AI optimizes my schedule. This meeting got canceled. Hooray! We didn't really want to go anyways. But now I have a free afternoon and 1,000 things I need to get done. So what should I work on during this time? The way I used to do it was spend the...
No, I don't look at it that way. I didn't even know that they were playing later than us. I only look at the opponent we have to face, and I know that's a tough one. Brentford was my first Premier League game, I think, and then I already thought, like, ooh, if this is going to be the resistance we get every week, then it's going to be then this is a more difficult league than the Eredivisie, which I knew before I came, but it was proven that day as well, and. They've had a very good season till now. Had a 2-2 against City. Great game. Both teams creating a lot of chances. And their manager has done a fantastic job for so many years now. You can see that it's a team that has worked together with their manager for a long time. So that's my only focus, and not on when does Arsenal play or when does Chelsea play or when do all the others play. We only focus on ourselves and the team we have to face.
And when the advantage at the top of the table has narrowed the way it has, how does that impact the squad mentally, if at all?
I don't think we are as much as the media are thinking about the league table every second of the day. We are trying to get the best out of the players, and with we, I mean my staff, and the players trying to get the best out of themselves every single day. And these players know how long the season still is and how many games they have to be in the best possible form to win something in the end of the season, which is not something that happens every single season. So we are not so focused on the league table as other people are. We are focused on getting a good training session today and getting a good game tomorrow. And as a result of that, we are hoping for a result. But the only way to get a result is to work on a daily basis in the best possible way.
Just building on that point about Brentford, it was Virgil that mentioned after the game against Forest that people might jokingly, he said, think we're in a bit of a crisis, but that's just another example of how tough the Premier League is this season. And Brentford are a real example of that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, the last thing I agree, and the first one as well. This season, maybe more than every other season, shows the strength of every single team that's in the league. Even yesterday evening, I think it was quite a surprise to see Southampton going toe to toe with United. So it shows you that in the second half of the season, and I told this thing last week as well, it's even harder to win your games than in the first half of the season because teams are longer together. Managers working longer with the team. You've played already once against each other, so maybe there's a different game plan. So some teams bring players in to strengthen the squad. And teams are fighting for getting into Europe, winning the league, trying to stay in the league. So second half of the season is always even more difficult than the first half of the season. And Brentford is an example of a team that was already really strong in the first half of the season, especially at home. But it had maybe something to do with the fixture list as well, because they had a lot of difficult away games. But they are a very good team for a few years now, and they've showed it this first half of the season, and especially Tuesday evening again against City.
You've got a really busy period coming up now where you're, for the next foreseeable future, going to be playing.
Save up to £300 on your holiday with TUI. Dreaming of a relaxing escape? Or thinking about an active adventure? Get away for less with £300 off per booking. The TUI sale is now on.
Weekend. Do you vary things in training? Do you do anything differently in order to make sure that the squad is fully prepared for that?
No, because if I remember correctly, this has been the situation from the moment we started against Brentford. Maybe that was the only week afterwards where we didn't play a game during the week, but from that moment on, it was almost every time since the Champions League started. It's almost every week a double program, and then you would tell me, yeah, but there were international breaks where they went to the national team, which is true, because there were 10 days off for me or 7 days off for me, but not for the players. So even in March, again, where you feel like, okay, there's a break in March, but I know a bit better than every other country that where the Dutch team plays against, and that's Spain. So it's going to be for Virgil, for Cody, and for Ryan, two very tough games against a very strong team again, when you guys think they have a break. So this is, for the whole season, it's like this. This is what makes the Premier League the hardest league in the world to play in, I think, and to compete in. But we've tried to prepare them in pre-season and during the year for this schedule. So if you look in it a bit closer, you see that every 3 or 4 weeks there's been a break for a player like Virgil when we had the League Cup game or an other game where he was off during the week. And that is the way we try to manage it. And what the good thing is, what we still see is that the physical output is, even after the winter break, is even higher than before. So they are completely fit and ready for this program. But if you look at the results, you could argue differently. But I've said many times before, that is 9 out of 10 times because of the resistance you face from the other team, and not about if it's a 12-15 kickoff or injuries or other excuses that are mostly there. It's always about the quality of the team you face, in my opinion.
Arne, Darwin Nunez available again after suspension. He's still struggling for goals. We know he has so many different facets to his game, but you can see his confidence is being affected by the lack of goals. But what do you do in that sort of situation to try and the vital component is the composure, but it's not an easy quality to bring to somebody when they are struggling confidence-wise.
Yeah, but that's your perception and maybe the perception of other people as well. But it's not my perception that he's struggling in self-confidence. He was involved against Accrington Stanley in the first goal again as well. He was involved in the goal against Fulham that Jota scored, and he scored one against Southampton. And I think after that, it wasn't that he had many starts, maybe one time. I don't know exactly. So for me, it's the life of a striker. Sometimes you score, sometimes you don't. And he hasn't started every single game. So for the most important thing for me is that we as a team are able to score every single game, except for the Tottenham one. I'm not sure, maybe that was the only game we've played this season that we didn't score. Is that true, what I'm saying?
Give me 3 good reasons why I should kick Coffee in the ass and take this space goods instead.
Our team, and yeah, Darwin will score his goals like he did for this club already, and he will keep doing this. But I don't see him struggling that much as the way you see it, and he's still involved in goals in the last few games as well.
Cody Gakpo's form on the left-hand side for the majority of the season, he's been sensational. That's meant that Luis Diaz generally has to play in a more central position, and he's been effective himself out on the left-hand side. But he's not been as effective in the recent games. Is it sometimes a struggle to try and shoehorn all these different sort of talents into your starting lineup?
I do agree with your perception that Cody is in a very good place. So sometimes we agree. Lucio's done really well as a 9, and even in West Ham just before the winter break, that was a performance of us as a team, but from him as a 9 also very good. And then afterwards he played there in 3 more games, I think. United, Tottenham, and last one against Forest. in all games we've created many chances as a team, and that's the most important thing. I'm happy with how he does as if we play him as a left winger, and happy how he plays when we play him as a 9. And it's the same like Darwin. He scored many goals already as a 9. He scored many goals as an 11 as well. And sometimes it's the right winger, Mo, who scores. Mo, you haven't talked about him yet, but the last 3 games he only scored a penalty. So yeah, it is. We can continue talking about every single player of us, about the goals they score, but in general we score a lot of goals, and we create a lot of chances. That's the most important thing.
Hi, Arne. You've kept 1 clean sheet in the last 7 league games. How much of a concern is that?
We haven't.
You have. Yeah, you've kept 1 clean sheet.
Yeah, not as much as we did before. I wouldn't say it's a concern, but it's also not what we want, because it was one of our strengths also in the beginning of the season that we kept a lot of clean sheets. But it's every time the same what I'm saying now. So we've talked about the strikers or the attackers sometimes having a bit of difficulties to score. I think if I look at the amount of chances we give away in the last 7 games, and I look at this how many chances we gave away in all the games before, I don't see many difference. The only difference is that the team we are facing at the moment, so Forest, for example, they had one serious shot on target, and that was a goal, where that is not normal in football. And this has happened to us. United had maybe 3 good chances against us, scored 2. Tottenham had hardly any chance except for the one when Ellie lost the ball, and the 1 chance there in the end they scored. So that is like with strikers, sometimes a phase in the season where you hardly concede anything, but still they score. I've said already, Crystal Palace away, that we beat 1-0 10 minutes before the end. They went on a 1v1 against Leeds, which was a bigger chance maybe than some goals we've conceded recently. So that is also, sometimes you're a bit lucky that and sometimes your goalkeeper makes a great save. But like the amount of chances we create, we hardly concede a chance, and that has been the same for the whole season. But when it comes to collecting points, I also see a bit of a difference at the moment compared to the beginning of the season.
Oh.
Just wondering, when you see a Premier League rival investing in a player with a 10-year contract and the financially that involved, is that a reminder of just how good you have to be consistently season over season to be able to compete with some of that sort of investment?
Not particular about the investments, but we know how good we have to be every single day to compete in this league. So it's not only the club you are now referring to. Chelsea also spent 1.2 billion. Is that the way you say it? Yeah. United spends an incredible amount. Every team spends a lot of money over here. That's why it's such an interesting league to be part of. And some season this club spends a bit more, the other season the other club spends a bit more. So that's what makes this league so intense and so difficult to win this league. And but that's also the reason why we all want to be here, because you want to compete against the best, with the best. And we are very happy with the team we are having at the moment. And we are still able to compete with all these teams that are spending incredible amount of money.
Can I just get on Jota? Just with his injury history, do you have to sort of treat him slightly differently, a special program just because of the injuries he's had and where you have to
Not because it's Jota, but I think every player has an individual program. I've said this last week, I think as well, that 80 or 90% of they do the same. But of course, every individual has things he wants to improve or to prevent him from getting a certain injury that he maybe had in the past. So of course, there's an eye on him doing some individual work to prevent him from getting injured. But that's not only with him, that's with all the others the same. So there is a special program for him, as there is for every single player. There's a special program for every single player, but 80 or 90% is for every player the same.
Well, hang on it. As it turns out, Forrester Holmes the only other time did score, just in case you were wondering. Attacking depth is such a massive commodity for all teams at the moment this season, and Liverpool's has been much celebrated this season. But we actually only ranked 12th for goals from the bench. Jota's was only the third time this season Liverpool scored a goal from the bench in the Premier League this season. And you've spoken so often about how games are tight and going up against a team like Brentford, who are very good at scoring late on. Is this something you'd like to see improving on? And do you think there's something your attacking side needs to do more to kind of affect the game?
No, because there was not many times a reason for them to affect the game with a goal. Of course, if we play, we want to score goals. Let that be clear. But one of the things I would like us to do better in the second half of the season, the first half of the season, although it wasn't many times necessary, to make a late goal winner. Is that the way to say it? So there were a few games, United, Fulham, this one, where we created chance after chance, because everybody only reminds the Maguire chance, but in the 7 minutes before we created 3 big chances. So we had a lot of chances in these 3 games to score the winner in the last phase of the game. But for almost all the other games, after 75 minutes, we were already leading. So there was not a real necessity then to score in the end. But in the 3, 4 or 5 games where we weren't winning yet, we did create a lot of chances, but we're not able to score. Like I said, it's such a small sample size. If there's only 3 or 4 games where we needed a goal, it's a bit simple to make the conclusion that we don't score it then. So then hopefully we don't come in these situations a lot. But we definitely, if we are coming in those situations, have 1 or 2 or 3 times a moment where we do score in the last minute of the game. When we deserve it.
David Lynch.
With Fiverr, you can hire top-rated freelance experts in a variety of
Yeah, I think you take a lot of things into account if you want to loan out a player, and this could be one of them. But there are also other factors you take into account. Is it good for a player to get some playing time? Yes or no? Do we think we still need him? We do have already 3 options for the number 9 position. And it's not like that we expect Judd now to be out for a long period of time. So it will be a struggle to have him on the pitch maybe on Saturday, maybe tomorrow. But we're hoping to see him on the pitch in the near future again. So we have 3 options. But Jaden did really well when he came in. So we have actually 4 options. And then it's up to us as a club to make the best possible decision for the near future, but also for the long-term future of this club.
Yeah. Just a question on opposition. The first Premier League game at Anfield was against Brentford. What part of their game do you see as a threat?
A lot of they are. So some teams you play, they have 1 or 2 big strengths, and they play from this strength completely. So it's either they play the long ball, second ball, and they play counter attack. But there are also teams that can do a lot of things really well. And I think this is an example of for Brentford. They play a high press man v man. They go to a very low block if necessary with the whole team. Can score goals in all different ways. We all know their set piece strength, of course. They can score goals in the first seconds of the game. So there's a lot for me to prepare the team for when we play Brentford. There are also some teams that are very good in 1 or 2 things, and that you can tell the team, now I have to take a bit more time for this game to show them or tell them what the strength of Brentford is. So there's not one strength. I think they have many strengths, many different options, many different players. They can play with 5 at the back. They can play with 4 at the back. So it shows me that it's a team that has worked for so many years with the same manager already, because it's quite difficult to get one formation in your team, let alone if you want to have 2. And that mostly is the situation if you work longer together. Then you're able to bring more formations into your team. So it's a lot to prepare them for.
James, last one for the breakout.
Yes, back again. I tried to sort of like cut out a lot of the, obviously, the adverts and that, because I don't really want to get in trouble with YouTube. You know what I mean? So I try to cut a lot of the adverts. But yeah, that's the gist of it, really. The press conference that happened yesterday. Press conference happened yesterday with Arne on the Brentford game. A lot of good things to take out of it. One thing I will take out of that press conference is the fact that they talked about obviously earning Ireland signing that contract. Now, potentially, at the end, that's going to be a contract of 9.5 years. So basically, that's going to take him up until sort of like, the end of his career. They've literally signed him for life. By any drastic things happening, he's going to be there for life, and he's going to be earning 500 grand a week. He's going to be earning 500 grand a week. Imagine that. I mean, 500 grand a week. 2 million a month, really. Do you know what I mean? He's literally made it. Anyway, so he can be earning that. My argument is that how comes that Man City at the end of the day, when they want to rebuild their squad, they go out and buy. Yeah, they just bought a defender the other day for Lons. Yeah, they bought him. Yeah, they got now after a midfielder for Juventus, I think. Juventus. Cambias, is it Cambiaso? So anyway, after you defender, right? No, a midfielder from Juventus, right? After that, because I know they need it. They are also after Mamouche from Frankfurt, a target that we were supposed to be after. You know what I mean? So, and then if you look at sort of like Aston Villa, they just gone out and bought Donnell Marland from Borussia Dortmund. Do you know what I mean? To me, at the end of the day, when other teams at the end of the day, like Man City, like Aston Villa, Chelsea, say you want about Chelsea, laugh at them, but they still went out and literally rebuilt their squad. Do you know what I mean? And then now and they've got options on top of options, and they're still looking for more players. Yeah, you know. So you got Chelsea in that mix there, got Man United in that mix there. You know what I mean? All these teams that when they want to go and rebuild their squad, and when they want to sort of like say, yeah, you know what, we want to complete. Do you know what I mean? They go out and get the business done. How comes at the end of the day that we can't do it? How comes at the end of the day it's taking so long at the end of the day for like 3 of our main players for their contract to get done? How comes? How comes? But then you know what? You got Man City at the end of the day that can tie Erling Haaland down to a lifetime contract. A lifetime contract. They've tied him down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. How comes? And we can't seem to get our business done. We can't seem to get our situation sorted out. Do you know what I mean? We're still missing a 6. We're still missing a defender that we need to get. But yet and then we're concentrating on buying an attacker. We don't need an attacker. We don't need one. So why are you concentrating on something that we don't need? You went out. You went out in the summer transfer window. You got like a goalkeeper. Then when I bought a goalkeeper, again a player that we don't really need. It's not a necessity. You know what I mean? It's not a priority. Our priorities are right. It's a midfielder and a defender. Do you know what I mean? Somebody preferably that can play left centre back and left back. Somebody preferably can do that. I don't see how hard it is to do all that, but other teams get to do it, and then all we get is excuses. That's all we get is excuses. Let me get some of the chat. Yeah, man. Big up Football with Ends, man. Big up yourself. Make sure you go and like and subscribe to Football with Ends. Excuse me. That's some really good stuff over there. Do you know what I mean? Good panel debates and analysis and all sorts. So get over there, show some love, and like and subscribe to Football with Ends. Also, Trudon in the building. Big up Trudon. He said Slot is a yes man. Well, you know my thoughts on that anyway. You know my thoughts. I don't have to talk. John Conway, big up John Conway. Sports everybody. Or he sports all the Liverpool spaces. Big up John Conway. Nothing space. He says big up Rodz. Yeah. So I just don't see why it's so hard in the day for them to sort of like say, right, you know what? We are going to get this done. You know what I mean? We're going to tie down our players and give Liverpool and Dave sort of like what they need to go on and triumph. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Listen, Arne Slot and Day, it wasn't my first choice in the day, right? He wasn't my second choice, he wasn't my third choice. He wasn't my fourth choice. You know, you obviously can see where I'm going with this. But at the same time at the day, right? At least at the day, what the owners should be doing is saying to sort of like Arne, saying to Arne Slot, we're gonna give you, yeah, the best players at the day in order for you to do your job. We're going to give you that. But they're not. Do you know what I mean? And then what happens at the day when it all goes Pete Tong, it's not the owners that's getting the blame. It's not Richard Hughes that's getting the blame. It's not Michael Edwards that's getting the blame. It's going to be Arne Slot. It's going to be obviously Arne Slot they're going to come for first. But yet in the day, you're not giving the adequate players at the day for him to complete the success that you want him to. The success that you brought him in for. It's not really fair. So I'm just wondering what's going on there still. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there was talk about like getting Joshua Kimmich, getting Joshua Kimmich on a free, but that will be in summer. That will be in summer. Do you know what I mean? That's a talk. You know what I mean? Apparently we're in talks with these representatives to get that deal done for a summer deal, like a free deal, which Joshua Kimmich can play sort of all along, sort of like that back four. He's a utility man when it comes like to the back four. Can play right back, centre back, and left back. Do you know what I mean? But that's the sort of player if you're gonna go for, that's the sort of player that I want to see now. I don't want to see him coming in the summer. I would like to see him coming now. Do you know what I mean? You know, so and another thing as well, that's not all what we need. You know, they're going on like they're looking at Joshua Kimmich to get him on a free. Yeah, they're going on like that. Like that's all we need. And another thing as well, why are you waiting for him to get him on a free when you've got money? When they've got money, they've got money. They've got 82 million. So far, they've got 82 million from sort of like from playing. It's 8 games. From playing 6 games, they're top of the table. They've earned 82 million. 82 and a half million they have earned from the Champions League. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? That's like 11 and a half million short of 100 million. Do you know what I mean? Right? So they've got 82 million. Plus all that money that they made in summer, do you know what I mean? From either selling their players or selling clauses that they got. Do you know what I mean? They can afford it. They can afford to go out and get some midfielder. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on there, but whatever it is at the day, mate, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at all. But that's the news so far. You know what I mean? That Man City and they're just getting on with their business. They're just doing what they need to do. Regardless of the fact that you got to think about it. Regardless of the fact that they've got those charges looming over them, and you know, in February we're supposed to, you know, find out what is going to happen to them. They don't care. They're just getting their job done. Just getting their bits and bobs done. They've even tied the manager, Pep Guardiola, even tied him down to a long-term contract. And at the same time, we are still rating and they to sort of like Salah, Trent, and Virgil van Dijk, which we're still waiting for that situation to sort it out. To the fact that this Saudi sort of like you know, Saudi league, that rumors popped up again that, you know, they want him over there. Do you know what I mean? And they want to pay this amount of money for him, and mate, it's just long. Then you got Trent and Day, right? You know, it looks like closer and closer he might be going to Real Madrid. I don't know, but the thing is, what's not doing him any justice, yeah, is the fact that he's not coming out and saying what he's going to do. I can't understand why he's not. I can't understand why a player cannot come out and say it and they will look. You know what I mean? I want to go there. I want to stay here. Do you know what I mean? It's so easy. I can't understand what is the problem. What is the problem why Trent cannot come out and say what he wants to do? Somebody tell me in the chat, what is the problem? Please. Let me look at the polls. I want to look at this poll business. Poll business. I want to look at this poll and see how the polls are getting on. Yeah, the polls are getting on. Go on with the channel them. Right. So far we have 6 votes, yeah? And I put the vote, have FSG failed us, fans? And I've got 6 votes so far. 83% says yes, 17% says no. That is so far. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to here, and big up Trudon. Trudon said the Haaland news just makes FSG look like amateurs. They are. You know what it is? You know what it is, Trudon? I just don't think they've got the know-how how to run a club, how to run a football club. You know what I mean? An English football club. I just don't think they've got the know-how to do it. You know what I mean? It's either that at the day, or like we've literally been bamboozled. For all these years, we've been bamboozled, blood. I'm talking some bamboozled business. Hoodwinked. All them things there, blood. Yeah? That's happened to us because really and truly, they've made so much money out of sort of like out of Liverpool. People will talk about sort of like they rebuild Liverpool, like the stands and all that. Do you know what I mean? They've done all that. Put money into it. Number one, it would have cost them more money at the end of the day, right? It would have cost them more money to move somewhere else, yeah, than to stay at Anfield, right? Also, as well, right? You know what I mean? They building these new stands and all those business there What do you think that means for them? Means more fans, yeah, at the end of the day in the stadium means more revenue for them. And even the ticket prices have gone up as well. Do you know what I mean? So look, they haven't done it. They haven't done it for the fact that they, you know what I mean, for I haven't done it for like the fans, you know what I mean, to say well, and they're good owners. They've done it and they so they can make more money out of Liverpool. So don't anybody tell you at the end of the day, well, they talk about the stand, the build up sort of like, Liverpool, you know what I mean? They put money into that because the fact is at the end of the day, right, a lot of that they are getting back. And the only reason they've done that is because they're getting it back. It's a joke. It's a joke. Right, let's go look at the lineup. I'm going to look at the lineup, do the lineup because I need to get that. Right, so let me put this lineup up. Let me share this lineup. Right, so okay, we're gonna have Alisson Becker. Obviously, he's gonna be in goal. Yeah, he's gonna be our goalie for tomorrow. Trust. Right, so he's gonna be in goal. Trent Alexander. Trent Alexander as right back. You know that's gonna happen. I don't even have to put in Mr. Bradley because Mr. Bradley unfortunately would not be playing. All right, so that's so Mr. Trent to go. Konate will come back in. He's going to come back in. Obviously, Virgil comes back in. And they have to pay to Shimikas. They have to pay him. He done so well when he came on the other day. They have to play him as left back. So that's how your back four looks, including obviously the goalkeeper. Okay, let me just the goalkeeper. Right. He's gonna pay Gravenberch, and he's gonna pay Gravenberch. He should come in. I think he should be paying. I feel he's going to have to sway to this. He's going to have to sway to end alongside Gravenberch because you know what it is at the day. McAllister's paying far too much games. He's got to have to do that. He's got to. You know what I mean? Free up the man there, innit? Free up Gravenberch. Luis Diaz. Gapper. Has to be Gapper. It has to be Gapper, yeah. Sabozalai. Sabozalai, he comes in. And then you're going to have Darwin. I'm putting Darwin in. I don't think at the end of the day that's sort of like I literally don't think that my man's gonna be ready tomorrow. I think that Jota is not gonna be the starting lineup. And you can look at the thing and say like, he's injured. He's out injured and it's gonna be like a good couple of months before he comes back. Okay, so that's your lineup for. Let me move myself out of the way here. Let me take this off. There you go. That's gonna be that is your literally your sort of like lineup for tomorrow, predicted lineup for tomorrow. So my predicted score score for tomorrow. I have to say I reckon 2-1 Liverpool. I don't think it's going to be a high flutter scoring game, but I think 2-1 Liverpool. That's my predicted score. You guys are welcome to put your scores back in. Trudon says the club is too big for FSG now. When we were a top 6 side, I could understand not having the money to spend. We are top side now, but they operate like it's still 2012. I totally agree. I totally agree. I can't disagree with that. Totally agree, Chidon. Totally agree. You know, but I don't see them going anywhere for a long time. Do you know what I mean? Unless and only unless a person like Elon Musk or Saudi comes in and buys them out. Do you know what I mean? And if I was a Saudi guy, and I had sort of like I had, you know, obviously got the money, I'll build a consortium, yeah, right? Get a consortium, and I'll literally do a hostile takeover. Seriously, hostile takeover, because you know what I mean. This ain't good enough. It's not good enough. Until something drastic happens, this is what you're gonna get. So, this side for tomorrow, we're gonna have Alisson Becker in goal. From right to left, Trent Alexander, Kanate, Virgil van Dijk, and Kostas Tsimikas. The two midfielders going to be Gravenberch and Endo for me, and he needs to be getting more games, I think. Then you got our forward line will be Salah, Szoboszlai in the 10, Gappo on the left, and Darwin Nunez up front. That is your predicted lineup for tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, before I end the poll, it's still on 83%. Says actually, should I refresh this? Let me refresh it. Let's see what happens then when I refresh it. See if anybody's sort of like. Yeah, hold on a minute, guys. I just want to see the last votes. Yeah, so the last votes, and then before I end the poll, is still 83%. In the poll is that obviously, you know, have FSG failed us fans. Okay, the last votes are 83% say yes, 17% say no. And I would like to know from that 17%, why do you think FSG hasn't failed us? I would like to know. Okay, right. Let's end that poll now. The poll's gonna be ended now. Right. So let's stop sharing this now. Yeah, so guys, there'll be no watch along tomorrow because I'll be at work tomorrow. So we'll have a match reaction either Saturday night match reaction. No, I have to wait to watch it too. It'll probably be Sunday, sometime on Sunday. I'll have a match reaction. You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm going to need to watch the game first. Do you know what I mean? So I know what I'm talking about, basically. So yeah, I should be back for that. But in the meantime, if I don't see you guys, then have a lovely weekend. Okay, have a lovely weekend. And listen, keep on speaking out about obviously the regime that we're under. Do you know what I mean? Don't let anybody tell you different. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, stay blessed and one love. We're out there. Stay blessed, one love, peace.
Why are you? If you are a fan of if you are a fan of football, and I'm happy to
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to Anfield Uncle Rodz channel. You never walk alone.